The Bahrain Space Agency, BSA, is strengthening its commitment to empowering young people and promoting awareness of space science and advanced technologies through its participation in Youth City 2030. This year, the agency is taking part with its largest presence to date, offering 11 specialized training programs alongside an interactive booth featuring innovative activities designed to inspire curiosity, creativity, and scientific exploration among children and youth. And to talk more about that, we are pleased to be joined here at the studio by Senior Space Data Analyst at Bahrain Space Agency, Engineer Aysha Aljawder, and Youth to Youth Space Program Trainee, Dana Al-Benna. Welcome, how are you both doing today?
Doing good. Thank you for asking.
It's a pleasure to have you both here today. Now, to start off, I'd like to start by asking, BSA is participating in Youth City 2030 for the third consecutive year. What makes this year's participation particularly special?
First, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here to discuss more about the agency's participation in Youth City. As you've mentioned, this specific year is special because it's our largest participation to date. So we have around 11 training programs that discuss topics under various fields under the space science umbrella, such as space exploration, satellite development, to satellite data analysis. We also have a variety of events. We have 3 main events in collaboration with organizations such as, of course, the Ministry of Youth Affairs, organizations such as Colo Space and Al Khalifiya Foundation. So we have a lot of events, a lot of programs, and a lot of these events and programs have been organized and have a lot of contribution from our youth to youth trainee program input. So it is from the youth to the youth.
Wonderful. And now, more specifically, what can the visitors expect from the training programs and interactive activities?
Yes, so these training programs, we have 11 training programs. These programs, they target to introduce the participants to different work fields or different skill sets related to work fields under the space science. So I'll give an example of one of the programs. We have a program called the Earth Observation Lab that targeted the young adult age group, and this program we relate the theoretical knowledge of satellite imagery and how they can use different software tools to analyze these images, which then they can extract information for decision making. We have another program that targeted children that's called Trip to the Moon, which gives them with the skill set information needed regarding a space mission from rocket design to exploration on the land and space. And we have 9 other programs that also include topics related to satellite development, space materials and others. And with our events, we have 3 main events. The first one is the interactive booth. So visitors to this our booth, they could learn more about Bahrain space achievements through visiting this booth. We also have a specialized program in which selected participants are able to have the opportunity to actually build a pocket cube-sized satellite. And our third main event is a hackathon. So we have a hackathon for building a lunar colony. So we have a lot of events and different programs, so visitors and participants can best choose the ones that fit their field of interest.
Wonderful. That sounds like a great way to get the youth involved as well, and then it captures like a bit of a wider range of interests within. And I think it's just a great way as well to kind of get people involved with, kind of space sciences. And on that note, how do these programs actually inspire children and even young adults to explore careers in space science and advanced technologies?
Okay, so you could look at like the 11 programs as like 11 different job careers or 11 different job roles that you can experience in space. So what I've mentioned about the Earth Observation Lab, so what we do is provide them with how to do satellite data analysis, which is what I do at the agency. I'm a satellite data analyst. We do analysis in order to extract information. So we give them a real life taste of what it is to actually work in this field. And we also have another program that's called Orbit Pitch, where the participants, they've developed a satellite design in order to provide data for a real life issue, which is what our other department in the agency does, which is the satellite design department. So they get to experience and understand the skill set and the knowledge needed to work in these specific fields. So they get an idea of what type of careers that exist in space, and they can fuel the more their interest in these areas.
Now there's a wide range of ages involved, like 9 to 35. So how do you kind of tailor the program to kind of communicate the information and messaging behind these programs and activities in an age-appropriate kind of way?
Yeah, so what we do is that it depends on the content itself. So the content, the knowledge itself will be the same, but how we deliver it will be different. So for example, with the younger audiences, we incorporate a lot more activities, a lot more simpler activities in order to reach to the main goal or the main knowledge idea that we want to share with them. With the adult groups, we incorporate more, let's say, laptop usage, a lot of more technical usage, so they get an idea of how they could extract information. Let's say for the Earth observation program, how they could utilize these software tools. Whereas for the younger age group, we'd give them manual, physical activities where they can utilize them in order so we can differentiate between these different age groups.
Wonderful. And going back to kind of like the lunar hackathon, because that sounds, the lunar colony hackathon, because that sounds really incredible and it sounds really interesting. Can you elaborate a bit on the highlights of that activity and as well what kind of skills participants will be leaving with?
Yes, the Lunar Colony Hackathon or the Moon Habitat Hackathon is one of the highlights of this year's activities. And first, I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank our sponsors, Bahrain Islamic Bank, المبرة الخليفية Foundation, and Extrude Engineering for supporting this initiative. So the main idea is that the participants will be presented with realistic lunar conditions and engineering constraints, and each team must try to solve the real-world challenge and think beyond their imagination of how the human life would be on the moon. And using these limitations, they need to present a practical solution on how astronauts will survive on the moon and manage their daily life. So different teams from different disciplines must gather around and come with a practical solution.
That sounds really cool. I can't think of a more eloquent way of kind of responding to that, so I'm just going to say that sounds really cool. And now I'd like to ask, how does the hackathon actually encourage creativity, teamwork, and problem solving amongst the young participants?
So the hackathon will encourage teamwork and communication because each team will be equipped with multidisciplinary individuals. Individuals will gather around from different technical backgrounds, and each will provide their own perspective on the same problem. They'll have different solutions and they will combine all the ideas to come with one integrated solution for the challenge. The participants will develop and improve their creativity by coming with new innovative solutions for different challenges.
Wonderfully said. And now the agency is introducing, we've mentioned this earlier, like the whole youth to youth initiative, and for the very first time. So can you tell us the idea behind this program?
Okay, so the youth initiative is basically from youth to youth. So it's whether it's from the youth employees at the agency or the youth employees at our trainee program or the youth at the youth city participants. It's about youth themselves training and exchanging knowledge and skill set and developing their skills, their leadership skills and all other skills, soft skills, technical skills in order to empower and support each other.
Wonderful. And you know, how does having the young Bahrainis train and inspire their peers enhance kind of the learning experience?
So I think it becomes a learning experience from both sides. So first we have the young trainees, the young employees, they themselves, they receive that knowledge, then they translate that knowledge in the same way or the same communication style as their fellow peer. So it could improve the way the information is being relayed and absorbed. And also in another way, it becomes inspirational. I think as a young person, if you see another fellow young person that is explaining to you or teaching you skill sets in a field that may seem advanced, it may seem something that's far away, but when you see someone that's closer to who you are explaining these things to you, it inspires you to be able to think that, oh, I can also achieve these things, I can also learn more about this field. So it becomes a learning and an inspiring experience.
Absolutely, and that's a really great way to approach education, especially with the younger people, and like you said, with such like an advanced field. And what role does the Youth Orbit Committee play in supporting the agency's outreach and educational efforts?
So the Youth Orbit Committee at the agency, they're responsible for nurturing the talents of the young employees in order to support them in various initiatives, of course also with our outreach and educational efforts. So the first initiative that I could give an example on is what we mentioned, the Youth to Youth initiative. Another thing that we have is our skills bank database. So this skills bank is responsible for documenting all the technical and soft skills of the young employees, and in order to further foster these skills and see how they can be developed and whether it's internally at the agency or in order to utilize them and enhance them in our educational outreach efforts. And we're constantly developing various initiatives in order to ensure that we are translating the knowledge in space science across Bahrain, whether it's outside or inside the agency.
And how important are partnerships with organizations such as, for example, like the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Temkeen, and the Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa Foundation in making these kinds of initiatives so successful?
So our partnership with these esteemed organizations, of course, are very critical. They provide us with the platform in order to reach a wider audience in Bahrain to share our space science knowledge. They provide us with the administrative support to ensure all the smooth running and success of these programs. And of course, when we're talking about developing national capabilities, developing a national space sector, it's always critical to have the support and the collaborative efforts of various types of organizations from various sectors in order to ensure reachability and in order to ensure that we are developing capabilities on a national scale. So this is why the collaborations are very important.
And judging on like the response and feedback from the participants, what does it tell you about young people's interest in space and innovation?
So the response have been very incredible. We've received more than twice number of applications that we originally expected, which shows that the young Bahraini people are so enthusiastic and they're willing to contribute to the modern technologies and space-related sector.
And could you guys tell us a little bit more about how these educational programs contribute to building kind of a sustainable national space sector here in the Kingdom of Bahrain?
So the participants have encouraging and enthusiastic engagement, and seeing this level of enthusiasm it just shows us that the Bahraini youth people are willing to collaborate, engage, and willing to provide to the technical and space-related fields.
Very well said. And what opportunities are actually available for young Bahrainis who want to pursue careers in the space industry?
Okay, so there are different types of careers that are available in the space industry. We hope that through the programs that we provide in Youth City 2030, that they can get an idea of the type of careers that are available. So as I've mentioned, we have careers related to satellite development. We have something called upstream, downstream. So you have areas related to satellite development, which is the upstream sector, related to space exploration. You can be engineers in that field. There are also the downstream sector, which is the analysis. So these are, you are more related to remote sensing, geographical analysis. So these are the main types of careers, and we showcase these careers and skill set needed through the program that we have in Youth City. So they can expect from the skills that they've gathered in Youth City programs, they get a better idea of the type of careers that are available.
And how does the BSA balance raising public awareness with developing specialized talent for the future?
Okay, so BSA is working a lot on different educational activities and programs in order to further develop the skills internally and externally on space science. So we always have an event going on. We always have a hackathon or a competition or workshops for different age groups or different space science fields, as well as even educational articles. So we try to develop the skill sets in the agency and then translating these through our educational programs.
And what message would you like to share with young people who dream of working in like space science, engineering, or technology?
My message is simple: just go for it. The obstacles are just part of the journey. All setbacks and challenges is what make us learn and grow more. And keep learning, keep growing, and always remember, if it were easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah, thank you so much, and great words of encouragement. And now, looking ahead, what new innovations, initiatives, or projects can we expect from BSA in order to further engage with and empower the youth?
So the first thing that you can expect, I think what we've mentioned, is the Lunar Colony Hackathon. So we're hosting this on August 8th, 9th, so you can look forward to that. We also have various upcoming hackathons which we're going to announce by the end of this year, so you can stay tuned on our social media platforms. So we always have different workshops that we constantly announce. So this is so you can always keep up with us in order to see what that are the latest things that we have in order to develop the youth.
Exciting stuff. And lastly, what does success look like for BSA at the end of Youth City 2030? And what impacts do you hope that these activities and initiatives will have on the next generation?
So we hope that any visitor or participant to our programs or events, they leave our programs with some new insights on the space sector, and we hope these insights sparks their curiosity on the space field and allows them to delve more into space and beyond that.
Wonderful. I'd like to thank you both for all of your efforts and for joining us today, and I wish you all the best going forward and can't wait to hear any future developments from BSA, and wish you all the best for the remaining time. Thank you guys so much again.
Thank you for having us.